Hi, I'm going to show you some pictures that I made recently. These are um, a continuation of what I call slit drawings that I've been making recently, wherein I take a blade and I cut the design onto a sheet of paper, and then I use that cut paper as a stencil with spray paint to transfer the design onto the surface. In this case, I'm using sheets of plywood with a very beautiful wood grain pattern on them. And what I like about this is that it gives a a lot of things. It gives a sense of movement and flow to the image. There's the kind of frontality of the pattern. It 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 keeps your eye on the surface, and at the same time there's illusionistic space happening. So there's a tension going on between the frontality of the wood grain, all the details that you see. See these knots in it, and they're echoed by the forms that I use in the drawing. So when I make them, I'm never quite sure how they're going to look, how it's going to come out, how the pattern of the wood grain is going to interact with the forms that I'm painting on it. In this case, it's an eye with a little man inside it. Not really sure what that means. It kind of sort of came to me spontaneously as I was making it. This is an image that I really like. A bird that's sort of flying into itself. It's the interweaving of inside and outside that's happening. And it's an image that I use a lot that kind of represents, well, in this case it's a bird, but I do it with the human body a lot as a way of showing the interior space of the body. You know, is the body a solid form in space, or is it a space in space? You know, you have your interior. It's where your perceptions go. It's where everything that you see and hear, it goes into you. Isn't it nice the way the grain kind of flows through it? And sometimes the forms are shadowed. They have sort of a shadow behind them, and sometimes the shadow is on the form itself. So there's this real sense of solidity and roundness and form that comes about with this way of working. See that sense of deep space that's happening, but then you have the frontality of the wood grain. Tension, visual tension between right on the surface and deep space. When you have that kind of tension, your eye, your perception, it's kind of suspended between two things, and it keeps you looking at it. And the longer you look at it, the more time there is for subtle things to come through from it. The sort of emotional qualities of the image can start to come through. This is one that I did on site. I did it up on Mount Charleston. just looking at the trees and cutting. And then there are some forms that depict like the wind. Charles Birchfield was a big influence on me. He's from Buffalo, like I am. And that sense of nature, that sense of energy and mysticism of nature, I really connect with that a lot. Look, it's a picture of trees. It's painted on wood that actually comes from trees. So it's got that going for it too. Here's another one, a straight tree and a curvy tree. And there's a bird here. Yeah, that's pretty interesting, isn't it? These are trees, and this is made from a tree. I like that. Another kind of duality picture. A male and a female figure. I use that a lot because it's a very basic kind of dynamic, and it's a nice variation of forms, and it has a lot of meaning. What's this? Creation, the future. I don't know. Yeah, look at the way those grain lines just kind of go across it like electrical waves or something. This is an intense one. There's a face here, and then there are a couple of little figures coming out. There's a bird up here, snakes, kind of a nature spirit. I have a kind of mystical bent with these. I like art that's visionary and kind of magical. I don't like talking about it. Part of the magic for me is the secrecy of it and the surprise of it. So it's a funny thing for me to be talking about it, but there it is. This is called the Green Man. And the Green Man was a traditional architectural feature, like a gargoyle type thing that you would put on a building. A stone carver would make it, and it represented a kind of nature spirit, a kind of unity with nature. So it had a traditional value in kind of protecting a structure, giving you good energy. He's made out of leaves. Yeah, a union of the human with the natural. That's a good image that I use a lot in various ways. People that look like plants or animals merging, the human with the natural. That's a lot of the kind of feeling that I'm after in my work in general. So I think that's a good place to leave it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.